Hello, this is Priscilla, and welcome to Conversational English on Air. This is your conversational hour with Priscilla. I hope that you will enjoy the presentation, Fun at the Beach. I will now upload our activity for today. Hello, Vincenzo.
Hello, Priscilla, my dear teacher. How are you?
Wonderful. And how about yourself?
Yeah, very, very well. Thank you.
Okay, great. Well, I'm happy that you were able to join me. We
Yes,
have an exciting story to talk about today.
yes.
I hope that you will enjoy this story. Let me see if I can make this more permanent.
This is a new one for me.
Okay, this is new. Okay, good. Well, even if it were not, it would be different. I tend to put a different twist on
Um,
all of them.
okay.
All right.
So,
So
yeah.
so here we have our story today, and it is Fun at the Beach. So how have you been since I last spoke with you? How have you been?
Yeah. Huh?
How have you been since I last spoke with you?
Last book. Huh? No, I don't
No.
understand your question.
How have you been since I last spoke with you?
Since last. No, I don't catch that.
Okay.
It's
The,
very strange.
the last time we met?
Yes, I don't remember. But what's something
No.
about what? About
No.
no,
No, no.
no, no, no.
Okay, listen. The last time
Uh,
the last time we met, you were doing well.
yeah.
Are you doing well today also?
No, I hope, teacher. I hope. I
Okay.
hope. Yes. But
Uh,
yes. Sometimes it's different because you are changing the way you are uh,
this this is
setting your lesson, teacher. Because
this
sometimes it's conversational, and other
it's
times are about comprehension,
it's
kinetic comprehensional.
I'm evolving.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
evolving.
Yes.
Do you know the word evolving?
Evolving, evolving.
Yes.
You are changing. You are trying to make it better, to make it better. No, I think better. No, or not. Evolving.
Yes.
Make yes. Or for perhaps you are trying to find a way in order to improve ourselves. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't know exactly, but there's something about the possibility to go deeper in understanding
Hmm.
and about conversation. About
Yes.
conversation, I don't know
So do you
in
see
which way. Perhaps you are referring to the way a little child can can apprehend. apprehend the language.
Yes,
To the,
without fear of failure. A child will learn without fear of failure. So you
yes,
see, so you see
yes.
what I've written.
That's a mystery. That's a mystery, teacher. I don't. If you can discover this, I think it could be a very useful thing in order to
Yeah.
learn languages, to apprehend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
languages.
do you see what I've written on the screen?
Yeah. What have you written? I am evolving. I am evolving. Yes, I am trying to make the lesson better and exciting. But but I think it's not only about being better and excited, but only to apprehend in a very natural way, in a deeper way. Not that I can, yes, in order to that remain us, that remain something in us, in ourselves, uh,
Hmm.
in order to remain, yes, very deeper.
I
But
think
yes,
I think something that is not exciting and interesting will not
I
be learned.
yes, I understand. Yes.
So even
Uh,
the small child, if they're not interested in playing with the
I
ball,
think yes, I think that little child have a lot of curiosity,
yes, it's
a little
curiosity.
curiosity, but it's something innate, something that from the
Hmm.
nature, and it's something perhaps physical or I don't know. It's something innate, I think, something innate. The curiosity is very important. It's like like you have said, passion.
To me, it's
Yes.
passion. Now, if someone,
Interest, because they
if
are open to the world. They are open to the world, to everything is curious. Is important for them because they are at the beginning of their life,
hmm
and well, everything is very strange, very well,
curiosity.
yes, curiosity. But it's very difficult to specify, to determine this word,
Hmm.
to curiosity, because it implies interest, a lot of interest for a child. Implies, implies.
So, so Vincenzo,
Yes,
for the adult that needs to be able to
perhaps they don't.
comprehend,
Yes, adults are not so curious like childs
I know.
because yes, they are accustomed to everything. So they are annoyed. Perhaps they are also annoyed of they don't see life like a child. Yes.
Yeah, and children do not have the stresses that most adults do with things.
Mm, mm,
Adults do
mm.
not have the luxury in most cases to be carefree
Yes, I must say that
and
work is not the dignity of the man. Now, sometimes they said the work dignify man,
okay.
but I'm not so sure about this.
I don't know,
I'm
but
not so sure. Yes,
I could
because
say if a man doesn't work, he
yes,
may not be able
perhaps
to eat.
perhaps when it's possible when a work is very interesting, but if you're going to work in a lazy way, when you are not interested in what you are doing, it's not very dignifying.
So how can you make work that is boring interesting?
But what? Boring?
How
Ah,
can
it was. There is the first line. He was bored. Yes, fun. That's strange because we arrived at the same feeling. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
yeah.
in the
So,
beginning of the.
but
What?
how do you make something that is boring unboring? How do you how do you make something that is boring not boring? Is it possible?
Don't understand the question, teacher. What do you mean? Do you want to say that what is boring for me, or no?
Okay, well, let me just ask you, what is boring for you?
Boring for me. Hmm. It's a very difficult question. Boring. Yes. Yes. I could say in general. what doesn't what it's not interesting for me is boring. Could be boring.
All right.
Could
Can
be
you
boring.
give me
When
an
I'm
example?
interested in something, it's not boring. It's very important for me. It's yes, I can. How can I say? Can put a lot of attention to something when it's interesting
Okay, but I'm
to
still
me.
waiting. I'm waiting for you to tell me the name of something
Ah, the
that
name
is
Samba.
that is
Boring.
boring.
Oh, what the name of something. Oh dear. Oh, it's not boring. This moment about this feeling of boring. Uh,
I can tell you
okay.
something that's boring to me.
Yes, help me.
Fishing. Fishing
Fish.
is fishing is boring to
Yeah. Ah, yes.
sit
Fishing is
on to
boring.
sit on the bank and hold a pole and wait for something to bite is boring to me.
Yes.
Now the second question is, how can you turn something that is boring into something that is not boring? Is it
Mm.
possible, or do I just accept the fact that it is something that I'm going to do? So
Mm.
I'll give you yet another example. When
Mm.
I was younger, my
Yes.
son enjoyed fishing. I
Yes.
did not I did not enjoy fishing, but I wanted him to enjoy his childhood. What gave me joy was watching him get excited about the fish jumping on his pole.
Mm.
That was exciting, but fishing in and of itself to me is boring. What I
It's very
did
good.
was I found a different way to look at fishing. I
Mm.
didn't see fishing as fishing for me, but as a activity that didn't cost very much for my son and I to enjoy. So
Mm.
then it became a little more interesting and palatable. Do you remember the word palatable from another lesson today?
Mm. Palatable. Palatable. What? Can you write it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pala table.
Pala. Palatable. Uh, it's something that is tasting good for your palate. Is it
Yeah.
so? Is it so when you are eating something? No, it's more referred to something that you are eating. Palatable? No, it's not in
Yes.
related to something of food. Yes, yeah, something food. Yes, palatable. That tastes good.
Your baby in the sock, the mother gave.
Such as the baby and the sock. Sock? Huh?
That was a story we did earlier. And the baby tried to eat
Not actually.
the apple. Do you remember that story?
Red apple. The baby tried to eat the apple. No, I
Oh, you
think
you miss you
yeah,
miss.
I miss this story. The baby
Okay.
tried to eat the apple. No,
Okay.
no,
And
no. I don't remember this story.
okay.
This story.
All
No,
right.
no.
Well, I do.
Anything, anyway, palatable is something referred to food. Yes.
Usually it is referred to food, but when you're in the midst of friends, and then someone that is not your friend comes up to you and your friends and says something that is not very nice, you might say, I cannot remain in this conversation because what this other person is saying and contributing to the conversation is not palatable. So I
Mm,
will excuse myself. It's like I can't stomach what this person is saying.
mm.
I don't like the comments that
Like,
are coming from
yes,
this person's mouth. But yes,
yes,
it's
yes, yes. Mm.
generally related to food.
For example, I'm not so interested in sports, no, teacher, and
Okay,
something
good.
like football. I
Hmm.
don't. Yes, sometimes I can watch a football match, but I'm not so interested like other people in football. There are a lot
Hmm.
of yeah, well, I don't know why, but yes, there are lots of people that are watching. football matches in Italy. In Italy,
Mm-hmm.
they are following I do say a team, a football team, or in all his life. But I don't like to be in this way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not interested. So Nick,
Yeah, I find.
what I would be, I perhaps I've already said told you that I have a lot of books that I would like to to read about great thinkers, no,
Hmm.
thinkers, yes. But for example, Voltaire, Socrates,
All right. Well,
Schopenhauer,
well,
Sartre. What?
take out one of your books and read your book to me. I will listen unless someone joins us. Do you
What?
have a?
No, how can I read the teacher? It's in Italian, the Italian book, the Italian language. Uh,
Oh,
Heidegger, Galileo, Freud, Einstein, Darwin,
uh,
Cartesio, Hegel, Heidegger, Kant.
okay.
Yes, but I'm now at the same for yes, this is a desire, but now I'm more interested in languages, so I'm studying English and Spanish at the same time in Vernon. At
Mm.
Vernon. Yes, but
Is it working?
I don't know how to do because sometimes I have a desire that I can't. How can I say? I can't decide that I can't resolve. How can I say? Solve. I decided.
Resolve. Resolve.
Yeah, yeah, resolve. So I buy a lot of books, but I don't read them. Don't read them. But I like to have this book.
Hmm.
Perhaps I think that afterward I could read this book. do you do you have the same things that happen to
Uh,
you? Do you
not about books, but I have it. I have it about shoes. I
shoes?
love I
Yeah.
love shoes, and I have no place to wear them. But I'd like to look at them. I just buy them and put them in my closet, and I'll look at them.
Yeah.
I love to
Yeah.
look at them.
This
Maybe
is
maybe one day something, an occasion will come up, and I will have an opportunity to wear them.
yeah.
So,
Yes, it's a pity because sometimes I spend a lot of money about something, but I cannot use this book or something else, for example. But it's only for the pleasure. I don't know because that's a problem for me, teacher. It's a
so that
problem.
that
Eh,
is that is your books.
yes.
Books are your drug of choice, and shoes are
Eh.
my drugs of choice. If I'm if I'm going to spend my money, let me spend it on something that I want, even if I don't use it.
Yes, that's a very strange teacher because I'm so, they are only desires and they remain desires and
Hmm.
it's a pity, no? It's a pity because yes, so there is a priority
Hmm.
of things that I'm going to do. No, I think the same is it's for you. No, you have you prefer to do some things first.
Over,
Yes,
yes, over
yes,
some other. Yes,
but
that
I
is
don't know if you can find the time.
exactly. I
And
can't
find
find
time
the.
for everything. And
I can
you
I can find.
satisfied your desire or about no, I don't know about yes. You have so told me about shoes, but yes,
Hmm.
I think that once in a few times you can wear your shoes or not. Yeah, it's
Well,
possible.
I will wear them
Yeah.
eventually, but I have several pairs I've only worn one time because I have not had another event to go to wear them.
Ah, yes, yes, yeah. Do you have other things like this like
Um,
that you buy
no,
something that you
very
can cannot use or something that's like my
no,
like the way I it's my book about my book
no,
something similar no
no.
no
I think mine's is only shoes.
no only shoes.
Everything else I think I buy because I need it. Um, no.
Have you discovered some new interest along your life that is something that is very inner inner to you,
Yeah.
inner inside you?
Yes, I want to travel. That's one of the things. But I've always wanted to travel. I just wasn't sure how I was going to go about doing it. Then I decided, among other reasons, I would get my education, get more education that would allow me to travel. It would be the
Mm.
basis for traveling. So as I entered into the doctoral program, once I've completed it, I can travel and try to share with others what
Yeah.
I've learned through the dissertation process.
No,
So,
actually, I don't understand very well. Have you discovered this thing in the late, how to say, in
in
your
the past, in the
in,
past, yeah, in the past
in
5 years.
past 5 years? Ah, yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
So this very, I think this is very important for the people. Yes, when we are going older,
Hmm.
yes, sometimes we are going to lose, we are going to
Hmm.
lose.
Exactly.
But there are some things that are very important about, how can I say, aware about conscience
Hmm.
about that you are aware of other things that are very important. These things are things that are very from yourself. I can say it's comes from
Within.
your, yes, for your very no, I don't understand. I can't say that. mm, it's not more related to, in order to the appearance, not the appearance to be to appear to the others, but to being yourself.
Hmm.
How can I say? I don't
It's
know
to
exactly
it's
the
to be
expression. This
it's to be natural. It's to be
natural.
it's
Yes,
natural. It's unpretentious. It's
yes.
natural. It's
It's not. It's not.
unpretentious.
It's not pretentious. Yes, it's very,
Yes.
very real. No, very
Yeah. Very real.
real. Yes. Have
Hmm.
you discovered something that is more from yourself in this uh, late year or not? With
Maybe.
some interest, yes, you have said, have told, no, I was said, you have said about travel, no?
Yes.
Did,
It's about traveling.
didn't you ever travel before? No,
Not very far.
travel. Ah, no, okay, yes, that's a very, very
I
important.
I
Yes,
I
perhaps my way to learn language could be a way to travel, a desire to travel. Yes.
yeah. I think that
that I
that would.
can that I can't satisfy. I cannot satisfy. For example,
I
yes,
think that.
yes. I
I
think
think.
it is so. It's so. Yes. Notwithstanding, I think it is something that I like,
Hmm.
but it is something that can I say, can substitute the desire of traveling.
Well, I
Yes.
think when we travel, that
Yes.
is the best way to learn. When we travel, we learn faster because we are immersed into an environment where we almost have to learn. It's not a question of do I want to, but I
Yeah.
must. I don't have resources readily available like an internet. If I'm in the store and I'm communicating with
Yeah.
someone, for example, I went to Canada once
Mm.
and to visit my brother, and I went to go to the
Ah,
store, but I didn't speak French, so I got a can of green beans
green.
because I
Yes.
was trying to find the green peppers, and the person, it was like one of the, not the grocery store but a side store, a convenience store. He didn't know what I was looking for, so I picked up a can of green beans and
Yeah.
I said green and pepper, and I got black pepper. I wanted a green pepper. So eventually, it was fun. He understood what I wanted, but he didn't have any. He did not have a green pepper.
Green
But it was
pepper.
but it was an
Yeah.
experience to try to get someone to understand what it is that I wanted from them. And that I also went to Nigeria about 20 years
Nigeria.
ago
Mm.
to visit my mother-in-law and father-in-law.
You have
And
your parents in Nigeria, yes.
yeah, but
Yeah.
they were able to speak English, but they didn't understand me at first because
Ah.
of my dialect, I guess. They said that I spoke too fast and the accent was just, I had to listen very carefully to what they wanted me to know and what they would say. But it
Mm.
was an interesting experience, so I enjoyed that. So there was two occasions that I would have benefited by having uh, their language or that indigenous language, be French or being, I think the language is Efik. Yes, they spoke Efik. But again, they did speak English in Nigeria, so it
Mm.
wasn't too
Are
difficult.
you, yes, are you interested in other languages, teacher, or not?
I'm going to learn Spanish as well,
Spanish, yeah, me too,
but
teacher.
I'm going to learn Spanish. I will start learning Spanish really
Perhaps
deeply.
I've seen you in some lesson or Spanish
Yeah,
lesson.
well, I
Yes,
don't that one time some
yes, but
verb
it was very strange because
it was
I see you for a moment, and afterward, you weren't in the school in the class
uh
because you have some, I think, some problems.
I did not have the microphone,
Ah,
and
yeah,
Verbaling had given me one credit, I guess.
yeah,
I guess to try out other classes.
yeah.
So I just went in to see how it worked. I didn't want to disturb her class because I wasn't, there to learn
Uh.
anything. And I said I did not have a working microphone.
I love this classes. But overall, the teacher Lorena, Lorena is very clever teacher. Very clever. Yes, very mm,
Well, it seemed to
good,
me
good,
that
good.
it seemed that I don't know what class I would need to go to. I would need to go to a class where I have never spoken Spanish, and I need someone to take me from the very beginning.
Mm.
In my classes here, I don't have anyone who can't speak English to some degree. Everyone that has been to my class are able to read a little in English or a lot, but I can't read Spanish and I can't speak Spanish. I just know those basic things, hasta la vista and
See, see,
hola.
see. So in some lessons of this teacher, Lorena teacher, yes, she has some lesson both English and Spanish at the same times. Translate things now. Not that for people that overall people talks no, people talk English. Yes, they make a comparison with the English.
Hmm.
So it's possible
Okay.
in order to help other people at the beginning. Yes.
Hmm.
Mm,
Well, I'm
yeah.
not sure who I will. I'm not sure who I will use to help with my learning of Spanish, but we'll see. I may choose Lorena, I may not.
Uh,
Um, but I won't approach that until
yeah.
2015. 2015. But yes, I did hear you speak. You said, "Hello, Priscilla."
Mhm.
And but I only
Yes.
had one credit, so I don't have any more free credits to go into
No.
classes. And as I
Uh,
said,
well,
Verbalin gave,
you can get credits. It's not, why not?
I don't know, they gave that to me for some reason when I first started with Verbaling.
Yeah.
They gave me that free one, but they only gave me one class, and I used it already with Lorena.
So you
So
don't want to buy credits? Don't you want to buy credit? No.
why do I want to buy? I can't come to the classes regularly. I
Ah,
can't come to classes regularly.
regularly. Yes, you don't have to pay
Yes, I
Oh,
would have to. I would.
also you have to, because you are a teacher in Verbing. I
Oh
thought that you
no, no, no.
you
They don't give me
yeah,
free
the
class.
possible no free
They
classes no.
they just gave me one free class.
No, only one free class.
Yes, and I used it.
Mhm.
And I used it
Okay,
with.
okay.
I used it
Mm,
already. If I take more, I will have to pay. If I take
yeah,
more, I'll have to pay. So I won't take more for
yes,
a
yes.
while.
What
And
I what
I'm always teaching. I'm always teaching,
yes,
so I don't have time
yes, I'm
to.
so what can I say? There is an expression I don't remember, but something idiomatic that is I'm very fond of. Now at this time I'm very fond of languages, so I'm hoping that they are having other language or introducing other no introducing yes introducing other languages like French and German because
Ah, okay.
in this way I can go forward. They are that these are languages that are more sim. Not let me say French is similar, very similar. So I can associate French to Spanish and pass to Spanish to France if they are making these languages, this language, this French.
Okay.
But
Okay.
at the first there was French, and afterward they give up with French. They gave up with French. I don't know why, because
Maybe they didn't have enough
I
French
tried
students.
to make three languages, but it was very difficult, so I have to give up with French. You know, at first
Uh-huh.
I I studied the English, Spanish, and French, but
Hmm.
it's too difficult. Too difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, I must have two languages at a time, but not three languages because.
Well, if you're comfortable doing more than two,
Yeah.
then good. But I don't know. I don't know. It seems like it would be a lot. But
Sometimes, yes, when talk in Spanish, there are some words that are in English. You know,
uh-huh.
and also the switch, no, sometimes it's very difficult to switch from the one language to another. Yes,
Okay.
you must change your mind. Okay,
Yeah, that
so
would be
well,
that. It seemed like it would be like you'd go from the
sometimes I think that one person that likes to learn a language is like what's the name? Collector and a word
hmm
collector, words collector,
hmm
word collector.
or
Yes,
someone
well,
or like someone who likes to collect books.
yes, to collect words. No,
Right.
it's also is something. For example, my wife was not so good at collecting words because she was going to say a word for another. I don't know. This is something that's different from one people to another. Not the
hmm
possibility to remind words, to catch a word and afterward to to remind this word. No,
To remember this word.
to remember this word.
Hmm.
No, some people can, other people are not accustomed with this. I think each people has some skills, and other people
Well,
don't have.
of
Don't,
course, this is true in everything, whether it's
yeah,
language or being a doctor
it's
or a
yes,
teacher. Some
yeah.
people have skills that others don't. We are all
Mm,
unique individuals. We
mm,
come with our own passions, desires, and
yeah,
motivation.
it's something about your memory, no, kind of memory. Let's say the way you remember something. Sometimes has a visual memory. Sometimes have
Mm. Tactical,
see, sound
kinesthetic,
by the sound, by the sight, by yes,
touch.
touch, yes, taste. Nothing is possible. Yes, the
Hmm.
taste, but yes, important is to discover this way, no? To discover the way you remember something could help, no?
The
It could
best way, the best
the
way
best
that
way
I,
you remember something. Also in a story, for example, when you make these stories, no, I am interested in the way I can remember the situation, the various part of the story, no, various part of
what
the story.
what I
I,
tend to do, what I tend to do, Vincent, so to help me
yeah,
remember, is put everything in a story.
mm, but
When I put
yeah,
it into a story, I'm able to remember it better.
mm. It's a problem for me because yes, I try to fix the story. Sometimes in a visual way,
Hmm.
no, that it's more simple for me to remember, no, remember
Hmm.
the story because sometimes I use the feeling of the story. So there is a feeling about all the story about the people. Yes, one track could be visually, and
Hmm.
another track could be emotionally. Yes,
Okay.
that's more important for me because I'm trying to discover how I can remember something about the story. I've never put attention to this, no, but I think it's very important right now because it's a way to study, no. Mm, I have abandoned my university because I wasn't able to try to find a way to understand what I was reading. So I have only 3 years of university, and afterward I didn't I gave up about university for
Hmm.
this reason because I always was trying to find a way to remember what I was studying, and I didn't try a way. So I read the way in different. I read the same book in different, a lot of things in different, trying to remember in different way, and it wasn't possible for me.
Hmm.
So at the end, I gave up with my university because it was for me a very strong effort to
Hmm.
study, and that was a problem. I Right now, I think that I have the same problem. I'm trying to find a way of comprehension, find a
Hmm.
way of comprehension to comprehend what I'm reading.
Right.
It's very important because I can remember what's important. It's also for sai buono, that's it. Oh, basta. Eh, for understand this book. No, I want to fix the importance of each thinker.
Well, the
Yes,
way
because I
again.
want to I want to know exactly let me say the nutshell in a nutshell what is a thinker. No, Voltaire, Socrates, what are they trying to find out? Trying to find out what is the principal interest of these people. I think that the reality is a kind of jewels, each people can see the reality in a different way, a
Hmm.
different way. It's only a face of the reality, and each people in this case for this author, it's a very they are saying
Well.
something about the reality. It's not the all the truth, no. We can
Hmm.
say in this way. They think they think they they think that the reality is what they are discovering, but it's not really real in
Hmm.
at the end, because it's only one face of the reality.
Well, what I
Uh,
say about reality is this. What is reality is my very own perception. It is
yeah,
how I perceive it. You may perceive it differently,
yes,
but for
yes.
me, if I perceive it one way, then that is my truth, and that
Mm,
is what I abide by. as my truth. You said it, you did it. You may not have meant to have me interpret it or receive it in a particular form, but that
Mm.
is how I received it, and that is my truth. So for there, writers, people who convince you, or negotiators, they have their way of talking to individuals and getting individuals to believe as they want them to believe, which is almost like planting the seed, watering the seed, and then you become loyal to the person that has cared for you. At some point, it is your responsibility to take ownership of your choices that you make.
Yes, yes,
If
that's a very important problem. That very important problem that always I've tried to solve. But yes, it's a problem about the freedom of people, of a personality, of a person.
uh
Are we free, or we are now or not free? Yes,
right,
yes, that's a very important problem, but I can solve this problem
you can
because
be given
yes,
a lot.
I must say that we are 99% conditioned, but there is a little 1% that we can choose,
Hmm.
and the strange is if we say that we are not free, yes. We can we are not responsible for our actions, and so
Hmm.
it's very strange. It's impossible to say this way because we decide when we want to go or make something. When we decide to make something, we can say that we are conditioned or not. Oh, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes. We could be. We are generally could be also we could also say that we are conditioned because we are going to do something that they are teaching us. They are hypnotized that, and our society is going to make us to do something that it's normal, no? We behave like other people in the same way we are accustomed with to make the same things. Uh,
hmm
there is the fashion. What can I say? Yes,
but
teacher. Perhaps we are always conditioned in this way. But when we can choose, how can we choose? Uh, it's up
but
to
we can choose.
us to choose, or we are conditioned when we are choosing something, we are deciding something. Yes. See, if we say that we are conditioned, yes, there is no responsibility in every action that we make. Yes, and so all is possible. Yes, we can do everything. We don't have to wonder about what happened in the world, but
Hmm.
mm, it's it's a very strange thing. For example, there is a religion like come si chiama? I don't remember the name. It's like a church that mm, thinks about think that thinks that men are uh, have engrams, no? And engrams is something that remains from your when you are a child, that remains in your mind,
Hmm.
that has impressed in your mind a situation that uh, makes you make things all in the same way you have to solve these engrams. Scientology, yes.
Oh, Scientologists.
Scientology, yes, Scientology.
Okay, I've heard
Yes,
of them, but I don't know much. I don't know
yes,
anything about them really.
my wife was not uh, uh, didn't agree about this kind of thing, and the thought that every person should be responsible for his action. Yes, I think so, but it's very difficult because I must recognize that there are some things that mm, can create a condition
Mhm.
mm, to you. For example, there was one thing when I was a little child. I was
Mhm.
running. It was, I think, it was when I'm many years, perhaps five
Okay.
years. 5 years. I was
Okay.
running around the table, and my father was coming from work. He was very tired, and I was joking, running around this table, and my father was sitting neck by me, sitting, like,
Mhm.
and it was. mm, He didn't like to see me running around the table because I was joking. I was joking. So he
Mhm.
he
Mhm.
took a plate
Mm.
and broke
So,
this plate on my head. But
so
and this remained in my mind because I think this it was very frustrating for me. Mm. In
right
in
now.
in yes in because it was blocked in this
Mhm.
blocked, and this influenced all my life, and it remains in my life because yes. Uh, After this situation, I wasn't the same, no, because I was not so sure, more was not so confident with
Mhm.
me. So I think that, but if I think this way, I must say that it's not possible to change for people. It's possible to be remain conditioned for something, or people can change. Yes, I think that a little I'm changed about after this situation, but I must recognize that this was very important for me. No,
Mhm.
very important. Yes.
Mm.
So this is related to the fact if people can change, can modify himself to modify his behavior,
And they
and
only
this
change.
is a responsibility. We can say that we are always child, we remain always child, no? In this case, we are not responsible. Child, I must say, is not responsible. If a child put his feet over on your feet, yes, you must recognize that he didn't make this action mm, voluntarily, with the involuntary, no? How can I say?
Mhm.
Involuntary. Is it
Involuntary means something
involuntary?
that's not
Yeah.
planned.
Yes, without plan and
Mhm.
not. Yes, so you have to recognize this. If you comprehend, this, you you don't have to punish the child, no? Because you
Mhm.
recognize that is something that could happen because he is a child, no? He is a child, and so this is about the problem to change. I think that lawyers can can
Oh
dis-
yeah.
lawyers can discuss better about this fact. It's a problem to recognize if people could be responsible or not, if you have the responsibility for something or not. Naturally, when you have mental diseases, you are not responsible. But this is a question that is debating in a court, I think.
Mhm.
About this. But what do you think about this, Richard? I
Well,
was, I
well, I
was,
well, I like your ideas that you are presenting. I like
yeah.
the ideas that you're presenting.
Mhm.
But ultimately, when we talk about choices and it's if you are an adult, the choice is yours. You may
Yes,
come later to
yes.
regret your choice, but still the choice is yours. Um, Sometimes we accept things as truths because our friends are accepting them as truth. I don't think I'm so much of a follower. I listen to the beat of my own drum, but then sometimes I see myself as a follower. So I'm not exactly sure which one I would consider myself is as a person who looks inside of myself to see if what I do is truly me, or do I look to others to confirm who I am and join in many of the things that they are doing. But I'd
Mm,
like to think that I'm using my own mind and I'm joining and being a part of these events
mm.
because I choose to do so.
Yes, 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 yes. And yes, and the thing, the fact that I'm choosing something that I think that is about what is it that I'm choosing, and there is also the problem about this kind of choose, this kind of choose. Are we depending from something material, from my brain? Yes,
Mm,
because I don't have my brain, I can choose, but where the think of mm, or choosing where comes
hmm
the thing, where
hmm
comes the thing from choosing is something immaterial, or material or immaterial.
well, it depends upon what it
Yeah,
depends upon
that's
what it
good.
is that you're choosing. If you're
Yeah,
choosing to make a decision about something that is a thought, then it isn't anything material. It's something in your brain.
yeah,
If,
but it's possible to have something material from a brain, from the brain. Brain is material. But where 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 are these kinds of things immaterial? How is it possible to have something material that comes from a brain
no,
material?
there isn't anything that's material that comes from the brain.
Man,
That's So
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So when it's not of a material matter, it's about making a choice. When you are an adult and you make a choice, that
Yes, yes, yes,
decision,
yes, yes,
that
yes. But I think about this thinking, these thoughts. How is it possible to have thoughts, material thoughts, from a material brain? Yes, that's a very strange things. Where I can find these immaterial things, teacher? There is a world or immaterial thing that exists by itself, where we can we takes thoughts from
Mhm.
our brains. Is like a radio that
Right.
we can join to this world,
Hmm.
communicate with this world. I think so. Perhaps Plato, no, Plato. It was not so absurd in generally.
Yeah.
They think that is something strange about Plato. No, it's not considered. But I think that the idea that there is a world
Hmm.
out of us where we can connect
Hmm.
with our brain is like a radio, I think. It could be that we can connect with this world in order to get
Right.
ideas. But yes, it's very difficult for us to prove that there is this world. That's the problem. Okay.
And
Yeah.
there are those that the proof is not necessary or needed, but you would have to be of that mindset. I try not to venture too far into that type of unknown. That sounds like the place for fortune tellers who can
Ah, yeah.
um, do things of that nature. It's more voodoo for me, and
Ah, yes.
I don't prescribe to believing that someone has some control over what I do. There are
Mm.
consequences for what I do, but if I'm making the choice, then I should be able to uh, entertain the consequence. If it's a good consequence, wonderful. If it's not a wonderful consequence, I brought it upon myself based upon the choices, not because I believe supernaturally or something of that matter.
Mm.
I'm not sure. It's above the scope of what I'm able to talk intelligently about. So I'll leave that to the other people who enjoy doing something like that. But
Mm.
anyway, I will say, Vincenzo, this hour has been great. Thank you for joining and
It's a conversational, conversational,
conversational.
conversational class teacher.
This is our today.
In order
Today.
to think, to talk about what I like, in order to think
Mm,
generally, to think, to think.
yeah.
But perhaps it's a way to return to my books in a certain way because I have to read this book, but.
Mhm.
Now my interest is about learning languages,
Mhm.
Yes, so
Oh,
perhaps,
I suspect
yeah.
you will go and get a book about languages pretty soon, and you'll start reading that book. It will tell you it will tell you the benefits and the derivatives of languages of
Mm,
sorts. Because there was
yeah.
a time when they did not have the language. They had, I guess, they drew on the wall. They didn't have
Uh,
a written language. I'm sure they had the spoken
oh,
language.
another thing that's very interesting because we are
Hmm.
talking together, but always I think that we are two universe that are talking. It's two different universe, completely different universe. That's
Uh-huh.
the another thing very
Uh-huh.
strange about
Well,
people.
well, the
Yes,
thing is,
each
it's
people is a universe. It is unique
mhm.
by himself. No, I can say by himself. No, ourself. Yes, it depends.
Yeah.
It's a universe. So I think that I understand you, but the absurd, the how can I say the strange that it's impossible to understand you, teacher. At the same time, yes,
Oh,
no, don't you think so? Yes, we
ah,
are talking, but at the same time, we are completely different.
well, what we're doing is we're having an exchange. We're not necessarily
Yeah.
agreeing, but
So that's
but
a
we're
problem
giving,
about love, no? Yeah, you
yeah.
think that you love something, but yeah, at the end, I think you don't know exactly what is the other people. Yes,
But you're willing.
sometimes it's a projection of you,
Hmm.
something that you like to. That you like that the other people would do for you, no? So I no, would the importance that the other people could have with you, but it's not this teacher. It's
Yeah,
not, no. Yeah.
I don't know.
Perhaps now our scope, no other, yes, our goal is to be together. I think only this. Yes, because
Yeah, and
we have,
the goal is to function as one,
yeah,
to think as one, and I guess that is what they call
to be
group think.
friends. No, if you
To
have
be
the necessity to be together, yes, to be together because we must go in this life with the other people in order to have to be that we are not alone. Yes, I
mm,
think that this way. Yes,
all right.
this is
Well,
very important. Yeah.
okay. Well, either way, I enjoyed
Yeah.
the conversation, Vincenzo. It's at the top of the hour. I
Yes.
guess we've already had our final words, so
Yeah.
I will see you a little later on today if
Yeah.
you attend some of my classes.
Yeah. I
So,
want to express my feeling about generally what I think about I would like, yes, yes, generally, well,
well,
mm,
Vincenzo, at the top
mm,
of the hour, we're going to
yes, we are finished.
put a pin we'll put a pin into it and we'll talk again real soon, all right? Have a
Yes, but
great
you have to talk about yourself, teacher, in the
uh,
next, if there is another hour like this, yes,
if you're
is
lucky
to,
if we're
yeah,
lucky to get another hour, we can certainly do that.
okay, thank
All
you.
right, dear. Take care. Have a great day.
Thank you, teacher, see you
Arri-
later.
Arrivederci.
Ciao, ciao
Oh,
is most common come si dice saluto? Saluto, come si dice? Saluto in English. Most common way to
see ya.
salutare.
We
To
say it's a see you later.
yeah, see you later. Like see you later. Yes, ciao. There is another
Okay,
bye.
ciao.
No, bye. Yes, bye is the
Okay.
same. Bye. Okay,
See ya.
ciao, ciao, ciao,
Ciao. Ciao. Ciao.
ciao.